Are you over 50 and tired of feeling like your legs just aren't what they used to be? Maybe walking doesn't feel like enough anymore. Or perhaps you've been told that you need to just walk more to stay strong. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's time to forget walking as your main strategy because there are far more effective ways to rebuild leg strength, even from the comfort of your own home, without fancy equipment or expensive gym memberships. And today, I'm going to show you 5 surprising exercises that can completely transform the strength, stability, and mobility in your legs if you stick with them. These exercises are specifically chosen for anyone over 50 who wants real, noticeable results.
Let's start by talking about walking. It's probably the first exercise that comes to mind when most people over 50 think about staying active. Maybe you've been told for years that walking is the key to keeping your legs strong, that a brisk walk around the block every day will maintain your mobility and prevent weakness. And yes, walking is great for your heart, for your lungs, for your circulation, and even for your mental health. There's no doubt about it. A daily walk is beneficial. But here's the problem. Walking alone is simply not enough if your goal is to actually rebuild leg strength. Think about it. Walking uses your legs in a very limited way. It's mostly repetitive, low-intensity motion, and while it keeps blood flowing and helps burn some calories, it doesn't provide the kind of resistance or challenge that your muscles need to grow stronger. Over time, your legs adapt to walking, and if you don't push them beyond that comfort zone, they're not going to get any stronger. It's the same principle as lifting weights. If you lift the same weight over and over, eventually your muscles stop growing because they've already adapted. Walking is wonderful for maintaining a baseline level of activity, but it doesn't challenge your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves in the way that targeted exercises can. That's why so many people over 50 notice that their legs feel weaker even though they're walking every day. They're active, yes, but their muscles are not being stimulated enough to actually rebuild strength. Now, I'm not saying walking is useless, far from it. Walking keeps your joints moving, which is crucial as we age, and it contributes to overall fitness and cardiovascular health. But if you've been relying on walking alone to maintain your leg strength, you might be disappointed by the results. Strength isn't just about moving your body from point A to point B. It's about resistance, about creating enough tension in your muscles to force them to adapt and grow. And that's exactly what most walking routines fail to do. Imagine trying to build a strong, stable foundation for your legs. Walking is like putting a thin layer of bricks on the ground. It's better than nothing, but it's not going to support the kind of structure that can handle heavy loads or sudden movements. If your goal is to prevent falls, climb stairs without struggling, or get out of a chair without wincing, you need more than walking. You need exercises that actively engage your muscles in multiple directions, that challenge your balance and stability, and that force your body to stabilize itself in ways that walking simply doesn't. Another reason walking alone falls short is that it doesn't target all the important muscles in your legs equally. When you walk, your quadriceps do a lot of work, your calves get some engagement, and your glutes are involved, but not as much as they could be. Your hamstrings get minimal activation, and deeper stabilizing muscles often go untouched. Over time, this uneven engagement can lead to muscle imbalances, which can make your legs more prone to weakness, poor posture, and even injury. So even if you're clocking miles on a treadmill or around your neighborhood, your legs might still feel fatigued and less stable because key muscles aren't being exercised the way they need to be. To rebuild true strength, you have to target these muscles deliberately in ways that walking never does. And here's the truth that often surprises people. You don't need fancy gym equipment to do it. You don't need treadmills, elliptical machines, or expensive weight sets. You just need exercises that challenge your legs with your own body weight or simple resistance. Exercises that force your muscles to fire in ways they're not used to during normal walking. That's where the real transformation happens. When you engage your muscles fully, when you challenge your balance and stability, when you work in ways that walking doesn't allow, your legs start to grow stronger, your joints become more resilient, and you begin to regain the confidence that comes from moving freely without hesitation or pain. So, if you're over 50 and your first instinct has always been to walk more, it's time to rethink that strategy. Walking is important, yes, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. If you want legs that feel powerful, stable, and capable, you need exercises that go beyond that simple motion. You need targeted, deliberate movements that rebuild muscle, enhance balance, and restore the strength that walking alone can't provide. And the good news is that these exercises can be done at home in a matter of minutes a day without any fancy equipment. You just need to commit to doing them consistently and understanding why they work. When you combine these targeted movements with your regular activity, including walking if you enjoy it, you'll start to notice changes in your legs that walking alone could never deliver. Your quads will feel stronger, your hamstrings will fire properly, your glutes will become more engaged, and even your calves will have improved endurance. It's not about abandoning walking altogether. It's about complementing it with exercises that truly build strength. It's about moving from a mindset of just keep moving to let's actively rebuild and strengthen. Walking has its place for overall health, but if you're serious about rebuilding leg strength after 50, it's time to embrace movements that challenge your muscles in ways that walking never will. Once you start incorporating these exercises, you'll wonder why you ever thought walking alone was enough, because the improvements in stability, balance, and leg strength will be undeniable. Your legs will feel more powerful, your movements will feel more confident, and everyday activities, climbing stairs, standing from a chair, or simply walking longer distances will feel easier and safer.
Let's talk about something that every single person over 50 experiences: muscle loss. It's completely normal, it's completely natural, and it's something that happens to everyone as we age. You might notice it in your legs first because they carry so much of your body weight and are responsible for almost everything you do on a daily basis. Climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, walking to the mailbox, these simple movements rely heavily on your leg muscles, and over time, they begin to feel weaker if you haven't been actively challenging them. Muscle loss doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual, often subtle at first, but over the years, it adds up. Your legs might feel slightly less powerful than they did in your 40s, your balance might be a little less stable, and you might find yourself compensating in ways you didn't even notice, like leaning on furniture or holding the railing more than necessary. This is all part of the natural aging process. But the key is that it doesn't have to be permanent. Just because your muscles are shrinking doesn't mean they can't grow again. One of the most important things to understand is that your body is incredibly adaptable, even after 50. Just because you've lost some strength doesn't mean it's gone forever. Muscles respond to stress, and when you challenge them in the right way, they rebuild, they grow stronger, and they become more functional. That's why targeted exercises are so crucial. You can't expect your legs to regain strength if you're doing the same low-intensity movements they've been doing for years. Your muscles need a reason to work harder, and when they get that stimulus, they start to adapt. It's a powerful reminder that age doesn't define your capabilities, your activity choices do. It's also worth mentioning that muscle loss isn't just about appearance or size. When your leg muscles weaken, it affects everything from balance to coordination. Weak legs make it harder to stabilize yourself during everyday tasks, increasing the risk of falls, injuries, and joint strain. Your bones also rely on strong muscles to protect them. When your muscles are strong, they absorb some of the impact from walking, climbing stairs, or other activities, which reduces stress on your joints and bones. But when muscles weaken, that protective effect diminishes, making your legs more vulnerable to strain and fatigue. This is why rebuilding leg strength is so important. It's not just about looking or feeling stronger, it's about protecting your body and maintaining independence. Another reason muscle loss happens as we age is hormonal changes. Your body produces less of certain hormones that help maintain muscle mass, like testosterone and growth hormone. This means that even if you're eating well and staying somewhat active, your body might still struggle to hold on to or build new muscle. But here's the good news. Proper exercise can override some of these natural declines. By consistently challenging your muscles with the right movements, you stimulate protein synthesis, improve circulation, and send signals to your body that it's time to rebuild. It's like giving your muscles a wake-up call, reminding them that they're still needed and that they still have work to do. Now let's think about what this looks like in practical terms. Many people over 50 notice that certain movements become more difficult. Standing up from a low chair, stepping onto a curb, or even walking up a short flight of stairs. These are all signs that your leg muscles are not functioning at their optimal level. The good news is that these challenges are not a signal that your body is failing. They are a signal that your body is ready for a new kind of training, a training that specifically targets the muscles that have become underused. With consistent, focused exercise, you can regain the strength you've lost and even build new levels of power and endurance that you might not have had in years. It's also worth noticing that muscle loss doesn't have to happen evenly. Some muscles weaken faster than others depending on your daily habits. If you've been sitting a lot, your glutes might be weaker than your quads. If you rarely use stairs, your calves might have lost tone. That's why it's so important to do exercises that engage multiple muscles at once, that recruit both large and small stabilizing muscles, and that target the areas that naturally lose strength with age. By doing this, you create balance, improve coordination, and rebuild the kind of leg strength that allows you to move confidently in all directions, not just forward and back. Nutrition plays a role too. Your muscles need protein, vitamins, and minerals to rebuild effectively. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing these nutrients, which means you may need to be more intentional about what you eat if you want to see real results. But even with optimal nutrition, exercise is the key driver. You can eat all the protein in the world, but without giving your muscles a reason to work, they won't grow. Conversely, even modest amounts of resistance and strength work can produce remarkable results if you're consistent and progressive with your approach. The bottom line is this: muscle loss with age is normal, but it is not irreversible. Your legs can regain strength, power, and stability if you give them the right kind of challenge. It requires understanding the changes your body is going through, choosing exercises that specifically target those changes, and committing to consistency. The body is resilient, and when you start treating your muscles the way they need to be treated, you'll be amazed at how quickly your legs begin to feel stronger, more capable, and more reliable for all the tasks you face every day. Now, let's focus on something that might surprise you. You can rebuild powerful, strong legs without ever leaving your home. You don't need a gym membership, fancy machines, or expensive equipment. In fact, some of the most effective exercises for leg strength rely only on your own body weight. The idea that you need to lift heavy weights or run on a treadmill to strengthen your legs is a common misconception, especially for people over 50. Your body is an incredibly efficient machine, and when you use it intelligently, you can get remarkable results in a small space with minimal tools. Home exercises are not only convenient, but also highly effective because they allow you to focus on proper form, controlled movement, and consistency, all of which are far more important than simply adding weight or going through the motions in a busy gym. One of the biggest advantages of at-home exercises is that they give you complete control over your environment. You can move at your own pace, take breaks when needed, and modify movements to suit your current strength and flexibility. This is especially important as we age because it reduces the risk of injury while still providing a challenge to your muscles. Unlike a treadmill or a gym machine that moves in a predetermined path, home exercises often engage stabilizing muscles that are neglected in repetitive motions. These stabilizers are crucial for overall leg strength, balance, and coordination. Strengthening them reduces the risk of falls and improves how your body responds to uneven surfaces, sudden movements, or unexpected changes in direction. Another benefit of home exercises is that they can be tailored to target multiple muscle groups at once. When you walk, your legs move in a repetitive forward and back motion, primarily working a few key muscles while leaving others relatively inactive. In contrast, exercises like squats, lunges, step-ups, and variations of bridges can engage your quads, hamstrings, glutes, calves, and even your core simultaneously. This holistic engagement creates functional strength, which means the strength you build is usable in real-life situations, like climbing stairs, lifting objects, or standing up from a chair without strain. You're not just training your legs to look stronger, you're training them to perform better, support your body, and protect your joints and bones from stress. Home exercises also make it easier to incorporate balance and flexibility into your routine. As we age, these two elements become just as important as raw strength. Your muscles might be capable of generating force, but if your balance is off or your joints are stiff, that strength won't translate effectively into functional movement. Many at-home exercises naturally combine strength with balance. For example, a single leg step up onto a sturdy chair or a controlled lunge forces your body to stabilize itself in ways walking never does. This not only strengthens the muscles, but also improves neuromuscular coordination, which is how your brain communicates with your muscles to maintain posture and control movement. Over time, this enhanced coordination reduces wobbliness, improves gait, and makes daily tasks easier and safer. Consistency is another key advantage of working out at home. When you rely on a gym or class schedule, it's easy to skip workouts due to time constraints, bad weather, or travel. At home, your workouts are immediately accessible. You don't need to drive anywhere, pay a fee, or follow someone else's schedule. You can fit short sessions into your day, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes. And here's the truth. Frequent, consistent, moderate exercise at home is far more effective for rebuilding leg strength than occasional long, intense sessions at the gym. Your muscles respond to regular, repeated stimulation, and when you can exercise at home, you're more likely to stick with it long enough to see meaningful results. Simplicity is also powerful. Some people get intimidated by complicated gym routines or machines with confusing instructions. At home, exercises can be simple but highly effective. Movements like squats, lunges, bridges, calf raises, and side leg lifts are straightforward, but when performed with proper form and control, they create significant resistance and stimulus for your muscles. You can even progress these exercises by adding small challenges, like holding a chair for balance instead of leaning on it completely, adding a slow tempo to increase muscle engagement, or performing more repetitions as your strength improves. This kind of incremental progress is the key to rebuilding leg strength safely and effectively after 50. One of the most satisfying aspects of home exercises is that you can see and feel your progress. Unlike walking, which doesn't provide a clear benchmark of improvement, exercises that challenge your legs directly show tangible results. You'll notice that you can perform more repetitions, hold positions longer, or move with more control. Your muscles will feel firmer, your joints will feel more supported, and your overall mobility will improve. These are real, measurable changes that build confidence and motivation to continue. The mental boost you get from seeing your strength return can be just as powerful as the physical benefits, reinforcing a positive cycle of consistency and improvement. Finally, home exercises can fit seamlessly into your lifestyle. You can do them while watching TV, listening to music, or even as a quick morning or evening routine. You're not restricted by gym hours, bad weather, or travel. You take control of your health, which is empowering in itself. Rebuilding leg strength after 50 is not about complicated routines or extreme effort. It's about smart, consistent, targeted movements that challenge your muscles and improve balance, coordination, and stability.
Now, let's talk about something that is often overlooked when people think about leg strength, and that is balance. Strength and balance go hand in hand, especially after 50. You can have strong quadriceps, hamstrings, and glutes, but if your balance is off, all that strength won't fully translate into safer, more confident movement. Balance is what allows you to perform everyday activities without fear or hesitation. It's what helps you step off a curb without wobbling, get out of a chair without gripping the armrests, and walk on uneven surfaces without risking a fall. When you combine strength with balance in your workouts, you're not just training muscles, you're training your body to move efficiently and safely, which is incredibly important as we age. One of the reasons balance is so crucial is that it directly affects your confidence. Many people over 50 notice that their movements have become more cautious. They might take smaller steps, hold on to furniture more often, or avoid certain activities altogether because they're worried about falling. This fear isn't just psychological. It's often based on subtle declines in muscle strength, stability, and coordination. By integrating exercises that challenge both your strength and balance, you essentially rebuild that confidence from the ground up. You're telling your body and your brain that your legs are capable and reliable. That confidence spills over into daily life, making you feel more independent and willing to move without hesitation. Balance also plays a protective role. As we age, the risk of falls and injuries increases, and weak stabilizing muscles are often a major contributor. Strengthening your legs alone is helpful, but it's the engagement of smaller stabilizing muscles in combination with larger muscle groups that really protects your joints and reduces injury risk. Exercises that incorporate balance forces these stabilizers to work harder. For example, when you perform a single leg stance or a lunge, your body must constantly adjust to maintain stability. These small adjustments engage muscles deep within your legs, hips, and core that often don't get activated during simple walking. Over time, this makes your movement smoother, more coordinated, and more resilient to unexpected shifts or uneven terrain. Another benefit of combining strength and balance exercises is improved functional movement. Functional movement is about being able to move in real-life situations effectively and safely. Think about the motions you use every day: standing up from a chair, climbing stairs, picking something up from the floor, stepping over obstacles. All of these activities require both leg strength and balance. By training both simultaneously, you're not just building muscles in isolation, you're building a body that works better in everyday life. The improvements are noticeable quickly. Tasks that used to feel tiring or awkward become easier, and you start to move with a sense of control and fluidity that many people haven't experienced in years. Balance exercises also help with proprioception, which is your body's ability to sense its position in space. Proprioception declines with age, which is why many people over 50 feel less steady on their feet or more prone to missteps. By challenging your balance, you're effectively retraining your body to recognize and respond to changes in terrain, shifts in weight, or sudden movements. This means that even when you're not actively exercising, your legs and brain are communicating better, helping you stay upright and move more efficiently. Improved proprioception also reduces the risk of falls, which is one of the biggest health concerns as we get older. It's also important to remember that balance doesn't have to be difficult to be effective. Even simple exercises, when performed correctly, can produce amazing results. Standing on one leg for a few seconds, performing controlled lunges, or doing gentle squats while focusing on stability can significantly enhance your coordination and engage deep stabilizing muscles. The key is consistency and mindful practice. By paying attention to how your body moves and where it needs to stabilize, you create stronger neural connections between your brain and muscles. This not only improves balance, but also enhances overall body awareness, which is critical for maintaining strength and mobility as you age. Another factor that often gets overlooked is how balance training complements cardiovascular activity. You don't need to run marathons or spend hours on a treadmill to maintain leg health. When you integrate strength and balance exercises, your heart rate can rise naturally during the movement, giving you both cardiovascular and muscular benefits in one session. This is especially valuable for people over 50 because it maximizes efficiency while minimizing the risk of overexertion or injury. You're building strong, stable legs while also supporting heart health, all without leaving your home or using complex equipment. Combining strength and balance also has a mental benefit. Engaging in exercises that require focus and coordination keeps your mind sharp and reinforces the connection between brain and body. When you're mindful of your movements, paying attention to stability, alignment, and control, you're training your brain as well as your legs. This dual engagement improves reaction time, body awareness, and cognitive function, which are all important for maintaining independence and quality of life after 50. Finally, integrating balance with strength creates a sustainable, long-term approach to leg health. Many older adults focus solely on strength training, thinking more muscle is all they need. But without balance, that strength can be underutilized and movement can remain inefficient or even risky.
By combining the two, you build legs that are not only strong, but also reliable, responsive, and ready for anything life throws at you. Over time, you'll notice improved posture, more stable walking, and a greater sense of confidence in all your daily movements.
Now, let's focus on perhaps the most important factor of all, and that is consistency. You can learn the best exercises, understand the science behind muscle growth, and have all the right tools at home, but none of it will matter if you don't commit to doing the work regularly. Consistency is what turns small efforts into real, visible results. This is especially true for anyone over 50. At this stage, your body needs regular, repeated stimulation to adapt and rebuild strength. Your muscles respond best when they're challenged on a predictable basis, which means that sporadic or occasional exercise just won't cut it. The legs you want, the stronger, more stable, and more functional legs, come from showing up day after day and putting in the effort even when it feels simple or repetitive. It's also worth noting that consistency builds momentum. When you start exercising regularly, your body begins to adapt, and those small improvements start stacking on each other. At first, you might notice that your legs feel a little firmer or that getting up from a chair is slightly easier. Then, after a few weeks, you'll find your balance improving, your steps becoming more confident, and your stamina increasing. Each session reinforces the last, creating a positive feedback loop. And psychologically, consistency makes it easier to stay motivated. When you see results, no matter how small, it reinforces the habit, and the habit in turn reinforces the results. This cycle is what allows you to rebuild leg strength over time and maintain it, rather than losing it again after a few weeks of inactivity. Another key point is that consistency allows for progression. Your muscles will only grow stronger when they're gradually challenged beyond their current capacity. If you only exercise once in a while, your body has no reason to adapt. But when you make leg exercises a regular part of your routine, you can slowly increase repetitions, hold positions longer, or add small variations that make movements more challenging. This progressive approach is crucial because it mirrors how muscles naturally strengthen and adapt. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes easier, and you're able to push your body further without overexerting yourself. This is how real, lasting strength is built. Consistency also helps to integrate these exercises into your lifestyle, making them less of a chore and more of a natural part of your day. You can schedule sessions in the morning, during a break, or even while watching television. Because these exercises are simple and can be performed at home, they're easy to incorporate without disrupting your daily routine. When you view them as a regular habit rather than an occasional task, it becomes much easier to stay committed. And the beauty of this approach is that even short sessions, done consistently, can have a profound impact on leg strength over time. You don't need hours at the gym. You just need a few focused minutes each day, repeated consistently over weeks and months. It's also important to recognize the role of patience in consistency. Strength doesn't return overnight, especially after years of natural muscle loss. There will be days when progress feels slow or when exercises feel more challenging than usual. That's perfectly normal. What matters is showing up, even on those difficult days, and trusting that each effort contributes to long-term improvement. Over time, your legs will become stronger, your balance more secure, and your confidence higher, but only if you maintain a steady rhythm of effort. The small, consistent steps are what lead to lasting transformation. Consistency doesn't just apply to the exercises themselves, it also includes recovery and listening to your body. Your muscles grow stronger when they're challenged, but also when they're allowed to recover. By being consistent but mindful, you can avoid overtraining while still giving your muscles the regular stimulus they need. This balance ensures that you continue to build strength safely without risking injury or burnout. Even small adjustments like spacing sessions across the week or alternating exercises to target different muscle groups support long-term consistency and effectiveness. Another benefit of consistency is the cumulative effect it has on overall mobility and independence. Every time you perform these leg exercises, you're strengthening the muscles that support your joints, improving your posture, enhancing balance, and increasing coordination. Over weeks and months, these small improvements accumulate, leading to a noticeable transformation in how you move, how confident you feel in your legs, and how capable you are in daily life. You might find that stairs are easier, that you can walk longer distances without fatigue, or that you move more fluidly in general.
These improvements come not from a single effort, but from repeated, consistent practice that gradually reinforces strength, balance, and coordination. Consistency also provides a sense of accomplishment and empowerment. Many people over 50 feel like their best years of strength are behind them, but by sticking to a regular routine, you prove to yourself that it's possible to regain and even surpass your previous capabilities. Each session becomes a small victory, reinforcing the belief that your body is adaptable, resilient, and capable of transformation. That mindset is just as important as the physical improvements because it encourages you to continue pushing forward, building more strength, and maintaining independence for years to come. Ultimately, the key takeaway is this: rebuilding leg strength after 50 isn't about intensity or complexity alone. It's about showing up consistently, making small but deliberate efforts each day, and trusting that over time those efforts will compound into real, meaningful results. Your legs will respond, your balance will improve, and your overall mobility will become stronger, but only if you remain committed and consistent in your approach.